Hi, and welcome to LubeTheCube.com's presentation of Cube Review. I'm JB, this is Rock,
Whoa.
and we're going to talk to you today about some of the different types of Rubik's Cubes and the features of each, what you can expect, benefits, absolutely. So, Rock, tell them about some of the stuff we're going to tell them about.
In this first video, we're mainly going to focus on A's, C's, Type 3 A's, Void Cubes, Type C mods, and then these are some of the cubes that we'll do in the later videos: DIY, Chinese, Rubik's brand from the website DIYs, 2x2s, Cube for Use, A, C, D, F, even studio cubes. Kind of hard to find out something about them. There's not too many videos on them. So
great. So let's go ahead and get right into it. First thing we want to talk to you about is the standard Type A. I think that's one of the more common types.
Around the longest.
A lot of people think that it's one of the better cubes, so we'll go with it first. Rock doesn't agree, but it definitely is a series that has some value. What I have here is your standard Type A. This is a limited sky blue edition from Cube for You, and this came with their lube and assemble service. So this is pretty much as out of the box as you can get it. One thing that you're going to notice right away with this particular type is that it's heavier than a lot of Rubik's cubes. It's a lot of the cubes have like voided out cubies so that they're made lighter intentionally. This one seems to be full on plastic, solid plastic all the way through.
Heaviest by far.
Definitely one of the heaviest cubes. If you're looking at this from a speed cube standpoint, certainly it will turn pretty good.
But see, you have to realize something here. Jamie very rarely overshoots. Someone like me who constantly overshoots, it has no cutting ability.
Right.
We both solve sub 60s easy, in the 40s, and look how long it takes me to turn. So this is for a certain type of cuber, without a doubt. In my opinion, it does. It's pretty money. I mean, it'll turn fast, but that's it. You're going to lose some of your ability to make cuts in it. Yeah,
it's definitely not the best cube for cornering. That's definitely true about it. But, if you're just looking for a standard cube that's not too pricey, that can move, or you're wanting to learn on it or whatever, it's certainly an upgrade over your standard store-bought.
Without a doubt. Just so you know that there is some cubes that we really like. We'll get to these in the later videos, which is a Type F. This is a black one. And there's difference between the colors, believe it or not. And then the regular Cube for You store cubes. So please watch all three of the videos to see some really nice ones. But let's move on from the regular Type A.
This next one we're going to look at is an A, was it Type 3?
Type 3.
Third generation. And we don't really have a Type 2 to show you. I think it's kind of in between this first A that I showed.
They're almost like novelties. I mean, they have the blue, I think transparent, and gold, right? Something like that. I don't think they have the regular...
Well, it's got some of the same features as this cube, but it's not the full-on, all the pieces removed. And what we're talking about is they've basically taken and made this to where you...
got to tighten pretty good on there. Here's the thing with these. Their goal was to make it, unpoppable. So they've added some extra, stability factors in there. This is one of them.
You can see on the side there, kind of the stability groove. I don't know what you would call that they've inserted there.
Very time consuming to put together. Even this piece right here, you'll have pieces that are cover this. I'm not sure if on this cube it does, but on some of the other ones it does. You'll even notice this groove right here. I don't know if you can see it from the video, but they spent a lot of time into making things, smooth and unpoppable. Still, I'm not a big fan. Jamie, what do you think?
I think it has potential. I mean, certainly there's a lot of people would like, I think, a lighter cube than this, and this definitely accomplishes that. And you can move algorithms through it.
Centers pop.
The center caps pop, as you saw there. But I think that our general consensus on this is if you want a lighter cube, you can get that in another type, and this is a bit more expensive, so I don't know that for the money you get a huge advantage over this. And if you're just starting out, you're going to have to spend a lot of time pulling your hair out to get this tightened the way it needs to be and get it together. I mean, because it literally comes in pieces. If you could get it assembled and lubed, I would definitely go for it.
Yeah, they don't even offer that service. Something important to note,
reason.
Yeah, is we are making an assessment off of Type A, off of many Type A's. So this is consistent. Our evaluation of this is based on one. So keep that in mind as one thing that you will find out for sure when you start ordering cubes for yourself is that they are inconsistent. You might get one Type A that is just golden money, turns like butter. And then the next one he gets total crap. So that's why you might read, type in Type A review and Google it, and you got Joe Smo who says he loves Type A, so he'll never use anything else, and the next guy says they're crap. It's because they're inconsistent. The first guy really did get something nice.
So without further hesitation, let's go ahead and move into the next type that we're going to show you in this video, which is Type C. Just a quick note, I want to do as much as we can out of the box, just the way that they come, but all of the Type Cs that I have to show you today have had some modification
for
done.
good reason.
And that's true, because the hardware that comes out of the box with these, it leaves a little bit to be desired.
True.
This cube, I think, is one of the fastest, or can be one of the fastest turning cubes that's out there.
It's like a Daishing. It's like a D. It turns incredibly.
But you have to make a couple of enhancements in order for that to realize its full potential. What I've done with these is basically switched out their cores and screw hardware with what comes on Cube for You. I don't know if you can see this, but this is how I have them set up.
Show them the springs, Jay Bruce.
You'll notice that on the screw and spring that I have the actual spring backwards. And the reason
That's
I've
key.
done
That's
key with this particular type, because if you put it on the standard way, you're really going to find that they bind a lot more than just normally. That's certainly one of the weaknesses of the cube, because even though it's really fast, it can bind on you. But if you switch the springs, you'll lessen that, and I think get the best out of this cube.
In my evaluation, and I think Jamie's too, this is better than a Type A. Again, this is not a B, this is Type C. So C's are better than a Type A, in my opinion. A's cut a little bit better, but these move a lot quicker. Something important to note too is that a lot of people say these C's are very similar to a Rubik's brand DIY. I guess I see some similarity there, Jay Bruce.
I think the similarity ends with the plastic.
True.
I mean, they weigh about the same, and they seem to be made out of similar materials. But these Type C's are light years better than I think the DIY Rubik's, and we'll get into that when we talk about the Rubik's brand.
Type C's, overall, these are probably one of Jamie's second favorite.
Yeah, it's probably my second favorite cube for sure. And then I just want to show one more time. This is also a Type C, and I've heard a lot on the internet about people switching out Type A cores and Type A hardware with a C cube and getting a hybrid speed cube that's really good out of that. I actually did that with this cube, and you know what? I mean, it's certainly not bad at all. It's comparable to the two that I just showed you, but ultimately, I think the Cube for You hardware with backward springs is a better setup.
And a lot of people, of course, want to assemblers and modders all the time. It took a lot of trial and experience to realize this is really how you want to set it up. See the springs, the fat sides on top, small sides on bottom.
And that's just with this type too. I mean,
yes.
The Cube for U's certainly, as an example, are ones that you wouldn't want to set up that way. But this particular Type C is definitely, that's the best setup. Finally, let's go ahead and jump real quick into our Void Cube.
Kind of a novelty, but pretty cool.
Yeah, actually. It's a novelty for sure. It's a lot harder than it looks, but I think the biggest problem with this cube is that we just haven't figured out how to lube it yet.
Me and Jamie easily get sub-60s. In this, you're probably talking a minute and a half. I expect this for two main reasons. Number one, it's not lubed because we don't have a way of confidently taking this apart without breaking it yet. They're really not that expensive, so I guess we should just man up and take it apart. The other thing is, we haven't learned any new algorithms for this, and I think there is going to be some that's going to save you a lot of time. Tell them why. No centers, obviously.
There's no centers, so you can't really orient it well. So if you put the blue on the wrong side or the top on the wrong side, then you're going to have problems when you get to your bottom layer. So the best thing to do if you're having trouble solving this is just match the color scheme to a solved cube, and that'll help you.
Watch the next video.
Yep.